we're live again, back with another episode. Welcome back, Couch Company crew. My name is John, and with me, across from me, as always, Tyler DeFazio. How are you doing, sir?
Hello there. That's a line
From
Star Wars.
exactly
From the Star Wars game.
Is that from 4?
The what?
Oh no, that's Obi-Wan, right?
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This is off to a horrible start, by the way.
No, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Oh, that's from
over?
3. That's from 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he says that
He drops down from Grievous.
Yeah. Okay, I am so sorry. That's what we're going to be talking about today.
But doesn't he always? He was in 4 and said that too.
That's why I thought 4.
Or he's like,
I was thinking
my little
I was
friend
thinking,
or whatever.
yeah, I was thinking 4 for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to the droid,
Yeah.
to R2-D2.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be traveling to a galaxy far, far away
Yes.
and hopping in our DeLorean. Different movie, but that's okay. You don't like? Do you like these movies? Yeah, me too.
I like Michael J. Fox a lot.
Me too. He's great. He's the best part of it.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to go to a far, far away, or a long, long time ago. Whoops. We're talking about Star Wars this week.
Oh,
Our top
you're
5 is
going with
fucking
a long time,
yes,
yeah.
God damn it.
Star Wars.
We're talking Star Wars this week, and we're going to rate top 5. We're going to piss a lot of people off. So let's get into it. Now, I will say, Tyler did bring up the Star Wars list here. It was between that and the other one was main characters in video games. Is that right?
Specifically player characters.
Player characters.
Yeah, characters
okay.
that you play within video games.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a close second.
Close second. I will like to point out to the audience here, the Couch Company crew, as we've dothed you. Is that real? Is that a real
Nope.
thing? No?
Maybe.
What's a dothing?
Doth?
Yeah.
It's something you do.
Oh, okay.
You doth
Well, I named them.
protest.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right. No
Are you
need
thinking,
for that one
Are
to
you
get to
thinking
the...
Darth?
No,
Oh, okay.
but yes. All right, anyways, so totally lost the train of thought there. We're going to be talking about Star Wars. Oh, the polls. Yeah, there's polls on Spotify. So if you have the Spotify app, there's actually going to be a poll that we have out every week. Couple answers there, question to the poll, and you can vote on what you'd like to see. Last week was top 5s that you'd like to see, and this one was voted the highest. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing this week.
We do take, just as a quick thing, we take the Spotify and then add it to, I also put it out on Twitter. So I take the results of both.
And plug the Twitter.
Couch Co Games.
Yeah. So check us out on there. Vote on that. Then you can hear what you want to hear.
Yeah, so
And get upset at
for
it.
people who wanted to hear us battle it out on Star Wars films, that's it.
There it is.
11 of them.
11. Wow.
We are not counting the Christmas special.
I didn't even vote. I tried, and I don't have the app, so
You wanted to swing it in your
I wanted
favor.
to swing it in my favor.
Nice. All right.
All right. So Tyler, you're the one who put this on the poll list. So
Yeah.
why don't you kick us off on the discussion here on Star Wars?
Absolutely. I wanted to kind of go through all these. So just for the record, just so everyone knows, we are doing the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
We're doing the prequels, 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
We're doing the sequels. I don't know how you.
Yeah, sequels.
The newest trilogy,
7, 8, 9.
9. And then we are also doing Solo, and we're doing the other one.
Rogue One.
Thank you.
So any feature length movie we're doing. So Mandalorian
Yep.
obviously doesn't count. TV
Yep.
show. So there should be 11 to talk through.
Yeah,
and
we're
going to
cutting
narrow
the-
it down to 5.
Yeah, cutting it in half and rounding up.
Now, are there any rules? I mean, we kind of just went over what we're talking about, but this seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean the rules.
We're talking best movie, right? Best
Yeah.
Star Wars movies.
Yeah, and
not our favorite. We're talking best.
I know we always talk about this.
Exactly. Whatever best means to you, Tyler.
Okay, best means my favorite.
Exactly.
No, I think we should be more of like a favorite-esque thing, right? Like I feel
I
like
don't
there's
think
some
I'd change
crossover
my
there.
list
I don't
because
think so either.
my taste is perfection.
Yeah.
So whatever I like is naturally the best.
Sure,
So,
okay.
That should be fine. I don't have
Okay.
to change my list around at all.
Great.
Great.
Do you want to start with A New Hope and just kind of go in maybe chronological order?
Chronological? That's not chronological.
of release? Okay.
Okay.
Nerd.
We're talking about Star Wars. We're both nerds
Star
here.
Wars.
All right, yeah. So New Hope,
New Hope.
came out in 1970.
1.
That's I don't know.
Maybe. Actually, it might be 1970. 1976? I don't know.
I thought it was the 70s. But New
going.
Hope, I like it a lot. I think it's easily within the top 5 in terms of my personal list.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean,
do you want me to
Star
tell you
Wars.
where it is on my list, or how do you want me to go about that?
No, like I mean, I think we just say, do you think it should be on the list?
I think it should be on the list.
I think so, too.
It's the classic. It is Star Wars. It kicked it off.
Yeah.
The iconic moments in that, right? And honestly, there was a time where Star Wars actually made good movies, not just like they're good for Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? Like Star Wars: A New Hope. I remember like it's on like TNT all the time, so you'll like watch it on TV because Star Wars is on. You're like,
Sure.
yeah, well, okay, I got an hour. I'll watch it. That's a good movie, man.
I mean, neither of us were alive for it, right?
No.
So like this is coming in as kids.
Do you ever see that video on YouTube? It's called Post-Production Save Star Wars or something, or Editing Save Star Wars or something.
Yeah,
like
didn't
that?
Topher Grace make like a full cut of everything? I think he took all the movies
yeah.
and like cut it down to
No,
like
no,
3.5
no,
hours.
that's not what I'm
or
talking
something
about.
like
That's not what I'm
that?
talking
Oh,
about.
it's something different.
So George Lucas,
Yeah,
who created Star Wars,
I've heard of him.
yeah. So his original, what they shot was awful.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Like,
Right.
have you ever seen like the extended scene? I guess the extended scenes, like the cut scenes or whatever, deleted scenes.
Not from Star Wars, not from A New Hope, but
Not from
I've-
New Hope. So
no,
there's like
I-
a lot of scenes like Luke is like hanging out with his friend or something. It's awful. It's so like you spend like an hour more on Tatooine. It's insane.
just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out. He goes to like I don't even know. Like it's
Getting
insane.
those power converters at
He's
Tatooine.
shooting those womp rats or whatever it is.
yeah,
T86.
T16, but that's fine.
Whoa, okay. Hey, and I'm the nerd.
I just
By the
wanna
way,
say,
I'm the nerd.
I
I'm
just
the
wanna
nerd,
say
by
I
the
like
way.
Star Wars. I mean,
You're a fucking nerd. Anyway, so yeah, so there's a bunch of deleted scenes. So what they did in post was they cut out all that shit and they added a ton of different scenes and dialogue over top. So for example, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Star Wars, which everyone has. So at the end when they're like trying to blow up the Death Star and shit, you remember those scenes where it cuts to the Death Star like I guess like how would I call this? Display where it's showing them getting in distance and they're talking over it and
yeah, like
shit
the computer and stuff.
all of that in post.
Yeah,
All of it.
sure.
It was after they were done filming.
And they just
So,
added like.
so
those
if
things
you
in there.
rewatch that scene where they're trying to blow up the Death Star, like half of it is them talking over, because they show that display like several
Right.
times, and it's like the rebels are getting this, like they're going crazy, right? Like
So close.
exactly. So it's hyping up.
Yeah.
So in the original script, the Death Star wasn't blowing up. Whatever, Tavin 4. Yavin 4.
Oh my God! Are you? So you're not a Star Wars fan, is what
Nah,
you're saying?
no,
Okay,
definitely not.
gotcha.
Yavin 4.
So wait, we're out of New Hope then.
No,
Yavin's in Return of the Jedi, my friend.
no.
Yeah,
Well, or whatever the first base was then.
there wasn't a first base.
What were they trying to blow up then?
The Death Star.
No, you fucking idiot. The Death Star was trying to blow up a planet in A New Hope.
They blew up Alderaan.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they were blowing up. Remember, they fucking capture Princess Leia and they torture her.
Yeah.
And they're like, tell us where the.
Yeah, and she says
Was it-
Dantooine, and he says, "Oh, no, I don't care about Dantooine. We're gonna go blow up Alderaan."
Yeah, and he does.
Yeah.
And then she. No. She tells them. No, she tells them where the base is, right? And he's like, oh, okay. And then they blow up Alderaan anyways. And then they said, set your targets for Dantooine or whatever.
Yeah, and they check out Dantooine. They say, "Nah, there might have been a rebel base here, but they left."
We need to fucking rewatch the movie, dude.
No, I
swear to God.
am telling you.
So they're not trying to blow anything up?
No, they got so Han and Luke and all them get kind of pulled into the not a moon, which is the Death Star. They escape
Yeah.
and they say, "Well, that ain't good," and they go back to attack it, blow it up.
What?
Yeah,
Dude, are you fucking serious? All right, I'm going to just talk about A New Hope. I'm going to fucking look this up.
no, so the reason why I like the New Hope or A New Hope is because it is a full-fledged start to finish movie that's just perfect. That's kind of my main thing.
Right. It's like the classic, like you could stop with A New Hope and it would be a good movie.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. Like you don't need A New Hope. It's Star Wars, which is what I think is awesome. The thing that if you go back and you rewatch it and you're looking at what makes Star Wars and the different feelings you get and things like that, Star Wars did a really great job with like theme songs, right? So you have like your Imperial March, you have everything going through. which is all fantastic.
Episode 4, Yavin. Yeah.
Yavin?
Yavin 4. In episode 4, why did the Death Star wait until it was above the Rebel base before firing when they could have destroyed the planet from the other side? Remember? It's like circling the fucking planet, and they're like 13% till we're in range.
I'm thinking of Endor. You're right.
You fucking asshole. Sitting here making me think I don't know anything about
right.
Star Wars.
I'm thinking of Endor.
Holy shit.
Force Moon.
I am sweating profusely because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
You're right.
I completely
I
have
blocked
no
all that
credibility.
out.
You're awful.
No,
you have no credibility.
Apparently
now.
I don't like Star Wars. that's clearly
That's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, no, you're
They're
right.
getting in range.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, that's the
because they
point
put a
of
tracking device on the Millennium Falcon. You're right. You're right.
No.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. I'm taking a great risk, Vader. Blah 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 blah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's coming back to me.
Holy fuck. All right. That was a lot.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, so all of that, them trying to get in range and blow up Yavin, is in post. That was not in the original script.
Yeah, some might even say it's not even really worth mentioning. Like, it's not important to the.
So, in the original script, they were just like attacking the Death Star,
Yeah.
but there was no stakes. The reason it was like so impactful is like, holy shit, they're like
added
5
it.
seconds away from blowing up the fucking Rebel base.
I was thinking of the original filming of it, not all this.
Get the fuck out of here! You have lost all credibility. You said it so confidently.
No, that's fair. I was, dude. I was 100% confident because I'm in my mind.
Sounds like episode 6.
No, I'm thinking of Endor.
What is he talking about?
That's on me. Yeah, you're right.
Jeez. All right.
Oh,
that was a lot.
I think it should be on the list.
This is a shit show. By the way,
I know. That should be on the list. Let's talk about Empire Strikes Back.
It's fantastic.
I like it a lot. Do you think? No. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Full stop.
That's from Morse code.
Full stop.
Yeah. Typewriters.
No, I don't know. Full stop. I guess it'd be Morse code.
Yeah, it's like stop. Right? Stop. Typewriters. I don't know.
No,
Calvin, get on that. Get on that shit.
I don't know about that.
Tell us what we're talking. You don't think so?
I don't know, but I have no credibility. Like I'm.
Oh no. Yeah, it's
everything
Morse
right
code. No, maybe not. Fuck. What is it? It's one of the two. All right. Research department, get on that. Continue.
But what I'm saying is, do we like when you go back and you rewatch it and stuff like that? What makes Empire Strikes Back better than like some of the newer movies or different? It's just the character interactions.
Yeah. Because the moments are bigger, the stakes are bigger.
Are they though? Like,
I mean, I guess the stakes aren't bigger, but the moments are better.
That's what I keep struggling with. Is I remember like I love Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
It starts out very, very strong.
Hoth.
I think it's super cool. Yeah. And
I mean, come on, man. Cloud City, the betrayal. Lando betrays them.
Yeah, but he betrays them for
under.
like 10 seconds.
It doesn't matter. It's the betrayal.
Yeah, no, I get it.
He's like, I know a guy. They're in Cloud City, and then the next thing you know, you open a fucking door, and there's Boba Fett.
Yeah,
Darth Vader staring at you.
And Darth Vader literally stops bullets.
Stops a bullet with his hand. It's a laser.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love it. I like it.
You get to see Luke training as a Jedi. This is like your first, like, because you got to think of it in the context of you don't know Star Wars,
right? And that's the tough part. That's
the tough part
what I'm
of it,
saying
right.
is like when you go back and you look at this stuff, it's like, is it like, are we kind of inflating its goodness or masterclass?
No. I remember I watched it not too long ago, and I was like, this is a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
just straight up a fantastic movie. And like you get the whole Dagobah thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say. It's like you hear Jedi in the first movie, and we kind of see a little bit of it. Two older Jedis, in quotations.
Yeah.
And then you finally get to see the goat dude come out, and he's this crazy old little dude.
Right.
And then he like turns it on, and he starts training Luke, you know?
Yeah.
What a fantastic moment.
And you get to see Vader go in and just beat his ass.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just absolutely annihilate him.
It's just fantastic. And then the whole moment, of course, is huge.
Yeah, the big reveal.
Sure. I mean, it's unbelievable. Imagine going to the theater and seeing that shit. That would be life-altering.
Yes, and I think it ruins any other Star Wars movie that tries to have that revelation.
That's how good it is.
Sure.
That's how good it is.
No,
because you literally sit there and watch everything else, and you're like, well, that wasn't episode 5.
It should be on the list. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Do I think the lightsaber battles are as good as future movies? No.
No.
Do I think that...
But I will say episode 4 has the worst lightsaber battle
Yes.
I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah.
Episode 5 exponentially improves. The fight between Luke and Vader in episode 5 is not that bad. And I would say it's even good. Vader's swinging. He's hitting shit all around. Like, he's just going wild. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty good fight.
I think the part of it is like... Well, we'll get the... so, okay, I think this should
is
be
it
on the
episode
list.
1? Is it episode 3?
No. But
it's a good fight. I think you should rewatch it, and you'd really notice, like, hey, this isn't actually bad. Like, we tend to think that, anything from the original trilogy is just like all those fights just suck.
I don't think
thinking
of a role post role making. When we're talking about these movies, are you talking about like the 97 remakes, or not remakes, but like remasters? Are you talking about the most modern versions of them?
So in my own experience, I had the originals on VHS.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
So I didn't have the originals on VHS. I saw them, and we had. I think they were like recorded or something.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting the box set, and I think it was the 97 one with like the Yoda and like Vader on either side and like their faces and stuff, or maybe it was one or the other. And I got them from Sam's Club, and it was like the VHSs where it's like, hey, look, here's all the extra features, and this is all the stuff we did to Cloud City, and we got rid of like the orange tinge underneath like the speeders and
hated
stuff
that
like that.
Orange tinge.
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
That orange tinge.
The more I look at them, the more it's like, do I think that he should have just left them alone? Probably.
Yeah.
But
that's why I love the originals the best.
But completing the circle and bringing in like this continuity across the board, there's something to be said for that.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like
I grew up on the VHS, so that's the ones that are locked, because those are the ones I watched over and over.
Sure.
Like, I had the box set. Like,
they make Jabba the Hutt 12 different times though, and stuff, and it's
I can't keep up with it.
That's
the problem with him. He's George Lucas. He's too like in his head.
It's like he's cutting hair, or he's like shaving a beard, and he keeps trying to like even it out. And
it's
then
like he's painting a painting, and he keeps painting over his own painting.
Yeah, just like let it
he's
ride.
Like, oh, but what if I did this?
Yeah.
Oh, but I could do that, and it just looks like shit at the end because it's just like it's too much pain.
Artist, right? Like that's a. I mean,
well,
I
a
would
good artist needs to sit down and be like, okay, this is done. Let's move on.
Sure,
I finished this.
But
they might loathe it.
But that's the thing.
They might loathe that.
He had the guts to go in and be like, no, I hate this. I'm gonna do it again.
No, I don't like that.
Keep tweaking it. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I can sympathize.
Sympathize with it.
As someone who has redone our thumbnails for our YouTube channel 25,000 times.
Yeah.
I can sympathize for sure.
Well, dude, I mean, it's like, as a musician, it's the same thing. You get a recording, and you're like, I can do it better. I can do it better. You go, like, you at some point, you have to say, this is it. This is my recording.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
You'll drive yourself crazy.
Sure.
And you'll eventually just make it worse, honestly. Because you're just overthinking it. You're just overthinking it at that point.
No, I hear you.
All right, episode 5 should be on the list.
Yes.
Episode 6. Now, I'm curious about your opinion on this one.
Yeah. I like episode 6. I arguably, the more I think about it, the more it's like, does it hang with 5? Does it hang with even 4 at that point? Like, to me, I go like 4, 5, or 5, 4, 6.
I'm the same way.
For those 3, right?
Exactly.
Like 6 is good. It does kind of like a pretty good wrap up.
Yeah.
You have like this happy ending just like across the board.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
I have some issues with like the lightsaber fight and stuff like that there, where it's like, Luke's supposed to be this like calmer dude, or he's a Jedi and all this other stuff. And then he just goes in and just starts swinging his lightsaber back and forth until like he just...
I like it because it's like his dad's coming out,
Yeah, right.
His dad's side, he's a fucking beast. But dude, his entrance in that with the green lightsaber and all black, man, that's so sick.
Like it was very, very cool.
I love the intro. I might like the intro to that movie more than 5. And that's a bold statement. But dude, the Jabba's Palace thing, I just love it. I don't know, for some reason, I just thought it was so cool as a kid.
I agree with you. I like the idea because there's a very distinct difference where it's on 5 you have the Empire coming in and just laying waste to everything, and they're basically
which is awesome.
retreating,
which is awesome.
Like they're fighting back, but they're retreating.
Right.
Really cool.
Great.
6 is awesome because they're like, we're coming in.
It's the comeback story. Everyone loves
our
comeback story.
plan and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool.
But they come in, you don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
Who captured Chewie? You're like, what the fuck? Things
Yep.
have gotten even worse.
Yeah.
And then it's Princess Leia, and you save it hot. Oh, so good. The first time you watch that, it's like unbelievable. Luke comes in. That appearance is fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get put in the Sarlacc pit, and it's the bump.
Yep.
Bump.
I mean, it was the last time you got if we're
love that
if we're
scene.
being real, it's
So
the last time you got to see Han Solo be super Han Solo.
Yeah.
Where it's
He
like,
phoned it in. And we'll get that.
I'm
yeah.
out of it for a little while. I'm getting delusions of grandeur. Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
he was so snarky and so, like, that was like
Peak.
the pinnacle of Harrison Ford.
Absolutely.
There. Yeah.
And we'll get to it later, but that goes the whole way.
Yeah.
But that movie is great. I mean, if the Ewoks weren't in that movie, now hear me out for a second.
Okay.
If you replace the Ewoks with Wookiees, that might be better than Episode 4, in my opinion.
I don't know if I would go that far. Like, I really
how
like
vastly would it improve it, though?
the more, and I would have to go in and rewatch them and stuff like that. I like episode 4 because it's a self-contained thing that's just great from start to finish. You meet everyone. It's the origin story ish.
Yeah.
Where 6 is kind of like the finale of everything. I honestly, like, the Ewoks are represented, like they're representing like the rebel group, the scrappy ones, the underdogs.
But
like,
it was
if they were like Wookiees, I feel like Wookiees are just too imposing. Like for the past 2 movies, we've been talking about how Wookiees are powerful and they'll rip your arms off.
That's
and they're
what I'm saying,
like right. And it would be sick, but but we technically saw that in future movies and stuff like that, and it's just like,
and it was sweet. Kashyyyk,
but
that was fucking sweet.
But part of the reason why those movies were so good is because they were so much smaller. When you really think about it, they were so much smaller than like all these other big battlefields and different things like that.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more intimate. You were seeing Ewoks, Wookiees, whatever. I didn't have an issue with the Ewoks personally. I get why some people did, but when you saw like them doing like all of their like guerrilla warfare type stuff, and like there was like these small vignettes of like how they could possibly take on an empire because they were on like their home turf and stuff.
Don't get me wrong,
cool.
I like that, where I love Endor.
Yeah.
Where it's like the guerrilla warfare, the lots of trees and stuff. That's like one of my favorite maps in Battlefield, man. Like that was so much fun. Or Battlefront, excuse me. But the Ewoks are so bad, dude, because it's just like, I understand where you're coming from. That's actually an interesting perspective that I haven't thought about. But there's a point where you're such an underdog and it's so impossible for you to win that it's comical that you're winning.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're coming in and they're taking...
with spears and rocks, they're taking down stormtroopers.
Like, I'm not saying... But
advanced weaponry, armor, fucking vehicles.
There are
it's just
some
ridiculous.
There are some dumb ones where it's like you throw a rock at a stormtrooper's helmet.
Oh, here
like,
are 2 logs. Put high up. They're not going to see these.
Yeah, but those are like trees. And
I'm
like,
not. I'm not saying that they wouldn't destroy it.
Yeah,
I'm saying that the fucking tank rider would have said, or the AT-AT rider would have been like, "Hey, you see those logs that are fucking suspended?
They're too busy with all the other like
obviously. Let's watch through this narrow passage. With these 2 logs suspended in midair.
It's the perfect story of their arrogance, their overconfidence.
I would have loved this.
Like Luke literally says it to Palpatine. He says like, "What your arrogance or your
arrogance is your downfall." Yeah, and he's like, "Maybe."
Yeah, your
friends are yours. Yeah,
sure.
Great line, by the way. But here's the thing, dude. Imagine this. Because you don't even get to learn the origins of the Wookiees. That would have been a perfect opportunity to be like, oh, hey, here's Chewbacca. He's totally different than everyone else. He's his own species. This is where they come from. Wrap it up at the end of the movie. How brilliant would that be? Be like, oh, this is his home planet. He gets to return home. Now Chewbacca has a way bigger stake in the story. You get to learn that. And here's what would have been great. And this is how you make it an underdog story, is maybe they're like super oppressed. Maybe the Empire they had a base down there, right? They had a moon base. Maybe the fucking Wookiees are like in chains and shit. And then they go in and break them out and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been sweet. And it's
I don't disagree with
now
any
the
of that. That would've
Wookiees
been
are
cool.
unchained.
Yeah.
They're gonna rip some fucking arms off.
It would've been cool.
That would have been fantastic.
Well, maybe George Lucas will go back and. I mean, he can't now that Disney
seems
owns
so
it. But maybe he
obvious.
just,
It seems so obvious to me. You
Yeah,
have one of the main party members is a Wookiee, and we don't get to see anything or hear anything about them except how badass they are.
Yeah, but like then you get to explore that in the books and everything else. Like that's the beauty of it is like
I'd rather see it in the movie.
people saw that and explored it out.
I'd rather see that in the movie.
I don't disagree with you, but they did Wookiees later on. I mean,
Later on,
like,
but,
you can keep
but
going,
that would have been the perfect moment because we didn't know we were going to get more movies. If you're thinking in trilogy speak, that would have been a perfect wrap up. Now we get the answers to Chewbacca's backstory.
Sure.
Now we get, that just ties it up. What a nice bow that is. Bowcaster.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
anyways,
disagree.
I love episode 6. I love the 3-pronged fight at the end where it's like the space battle, the Endor battle, and the battle between Luke and Vader and the Emperor. It's fantastic.
completely agree.
All right, let's move on.
Do we think it should be on the list?
I would vote yes.
I would vote yes as well.
All right. We got 3 on the list.
I know.
So
I
run
know.
around the room, man. All right. Let me pull up my list so I can keep myself honest here.
Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Ooh, baby. I'll let you go first.
You were alive when it came out?
2000. Yeah, I was
Came out,
obviously
what,
alive.
99, I think.
Oh, was it 99?
I think 99.
I was 2 years old.
2 years old.
So I did not see it in
So
theaters.
when did you... So let me ask you this. When did you actually get into Star Wars? For me, it was 4th grade. I can remember it perfectly clear.
Okay.
And I remember going and seeing the movie, like when it came out, in theaters, ready to go. What a fantastic movie.
Yeah. No. I can see your nostalgia glasses on right now.
It's not a nostalgia glass.
Oh, it is.
If you objectively look at the original trilogy
Yeah.
and what makes Star Wars,
Yes.
like lightsabers,
Yeah.
fights,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay.
I'm with you.
And then you have this that
Yeah.
just turns it up. Like this is the first time.
It turns it up. Okay. No, I love
Screw you.
this. I love this.
No, this is the first time you see lightsabers how they were like in the. I'm putting air quotes up here, but like the olden days.
Yeah.
Of like, it's an elegant weapon. You get to see where Obi-Wan Kenobi came from.
Yes.
You get Liam Neeson in there, who I thought
Liam
was
Neeson's
absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic. Yes.
You get an imposing figure that's mysterious and evil.
And misused, but yeah.
Sure, but what I'm saying is like coming off of Vader and even the Emperor to some extent.
That's a
like,
good follow-up.
That's
I agree.
That's
Yeah.
a tough act to follow.
Oh yeah. No,
'Cause
I'm
look,
totally
look
with
at everyone
you.
else past Darth Maul
Oh yeah.
has been, I would argue, kind of comical.
I like Dooku.
The what?
I like Dooku.
Dooku's fine.
think
Like
Dooku's
he's
cool.
not like I think he.
But
like,
yeah, Maul's better, of course.
I just think as a character and as a kid and you
the
go
face
in
paint,
right.
the fucking it's,
And don't
that's
get me
like,
like-
when I think of a Sith, that's like
like
shit.
he's
That's a Sith.
Sith personified. Like he's not
Is
conniving and stuff. Like he's
is his race? Because there is a race that is a Sith
He's a
pure
Zabrak
blood.
or
Okay,
Zabrak
he's
or whatever.
Zabrak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my thing with this, and I understand that.
I guess the purebloods are all red. They're just completely.
I think they could be anything because he tattooed his face.
Oh, he tattooed his face.
Yeah.
Because I know there is a Sith pureblood race based off the MMO. They're actually like descendants of the. There's like a race. Of that.
Right. I don't know.
Okay, anyway,
I'm not
sorry.
that far. I don't know.
Sorry.
But what I'm saying is, I understand the arguments against it, where you have people come in and they're like, "Oh yeah, like kids movie, like we love trade routes and stuff like that."
Yeah.
And the thing that they are not understanding,
Oh shit!
No, like,
wow. Okay.
here's the
Hey,
thing.
Hey, what am I not understanding?
as a kid,
Yes.
and by George Lucas's mouth, this movie was made for kids, like it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
So coming into it, not once as a kid was I like, I understand this trade route thing. I don't. All I'm looking at is that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh my gosh, they have lightsabers. Holy crap! Look at them like deflecting all these bolts and everything.
Let me ask you something. What's the best kids movie you can think of right now?
Probably episode 1 of Phantom Menace.
Are you serious?
For a kids, I don't know. Like what I'm saying is
So I'm saying when you think of a good kids movie,
this movie.
you can get it beautifully dances the line between entertaining for kids, but also adults can watch this and not be cringed out by the kids stuff.
I think adults can still watch. You can
Adults can watch
You can
it.
watch Phantom Menace. So,
Dude, Jar Jar Binks
let me just
is
cut
the
to
worst.
the chase. Let me cut to the chase.
Defend Jar Jar Binks. That's what I was waiting for this whole time.
Jar Jar Binks is a hero.
Yeah, I guess.
If you look at it, and this is my same argument with Ewoks, right? Do I think Jar Jar Binks is like kind of oppressive in a like comedic relief and different things like that? Sure, but if you are looking at it from this being who, might not be like other characters we've seen, it gets overrun on his planet. His forests are getting cut down and everything, and like he not only is the hero and takes the Jedi to his kingdom and explains everything, but like goes to fight this war. You have that comedic
fucking
relief.
idiot, man.
He is. I'm not denying that. But when you look at, like, you were talking about the 3-pronged approach from
episode 6.
Yeah. Look at the 4-pronged approach.
No, it's great.
From episode 1. Like, you have the star fighting. You have name another. Like, can you hum another tune better than Duel of the Fates? You have Duel of the Fates.
It's episode 3.
Go ahead.
That's episode 3.
Duel of the Fates? Yeah. That is episode 1, my friend.
Are you sure?
I am not. This is not another Yavin thing. Duel of the Fates was episode 1, and that was at the end.
Was it brought back in 3?
I'm sure a rendition of it was, sure. But what I'm saying is, Duel of the Fates was the best track. I would argue it's better than a lot of the other like obviously Imperial March and the opening theme, and even like the Force or Be With You or whatever they call it. Those are all great. But whenever you hear the dun 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 dun, while the doors open, Darth Maul's just standing there, just him.
Yeah.
There's an entire army, Jedi, everything, and then Qui-Gon's like, "We got this." They pull their robes off.
Yeah.
They they come in, and Darth Maul hits his second saber, and you watch that go. Come on, man.
Hey,
there is not a better lightsaber fight. And don't get me wrong, I'll even
point out this that you didn't point out, which is one of my favorite parts of the movie: pod racing.
But it still holds up.
I love pod racing.
It still holds up.
Yeah, I love pod
so
racing.
If you take
you ever play that arcade game?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Amazing.
Even the Kinect version of pod racing was good. That's how good
pod racing's awesome, man. No one ever brings that
all
up.
of it, and just seeing everything.
But Anakin sucks. That whole thing's awful.
Is the acting top notch?
No, but what are the midichlorians?
But I still argue there's better acting in episode 1 than there is in 2 and 3.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just saying. So if you pull all of that out, and then episode 1
in there,
episode 1 is still part of it, where it's like, and I don't want to.
You don't have the love story yet, so that's good.
You don't have the love story. You don't have all that kind of whiny BS. But you get these massive kind of like backstory, like swaths of like, I know people were like, oh, midichlorians, blah, blah, blah. But like, that's a big.
It's so weird.
It's a big point in the lore of the Jedi. You finally get to see Jedi that isn't just this wacky little green guy who is like the really only Jedi. And like, I mean, Obi-Wan dies within the first movie.
Do you see Yoda in one?
Yeah, but he's a puppet. And now, granted, they went back and CGI'd him in. But like, one is that perfect balance between, hey, we got some new technology, let's blow this up.
Yeah, just enough.
But you still have some practical effects because the tech wasn't there yet. And then 2 is all tech, all green screens. And it's just like
too much.
You don't get that thing, and you have the father son thing that obviously gets passed from Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan to then Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Right.
But you can see where Obi-Wan came from, and kind of like his story arc and stuff. And I think Qui-Gon was a perfect example of like, this is arguably the last time you see a Jedi be like calm, collected, everything a Jedi's supposed to be.
Qui-Gon's like such a good Jedi.
Absolutely, because if you look at those movies from then on,
it's just a downfall.
Everyone
of the Jedi,
is just people.
So you're saying Qui-Gon was the glue of the Jedi?
I'm just saying, like he was the one that was he rash, and did he like go against the council and stuff like that? Sure, but he was always looking at.
But I think that's the nature of it.
Piece.
I mean, that's the nature of it. Like the Jedi Code is kind of fucking crazy.
And they explore that, and we'll get into that. But like, I'm just saying, episode 1, from a kid's point of view, was this sparkly new finish on a series that you love, and you get to see like they did it right in that you don't have all these old characters coming in and trying to reprise roles and whatever.
Right.
It's it's like here this is what happened before.
Yeah.
I love the trilogy.
I love the prequels.
So do I. But that's what I'm saying.
It's a really good.
But I like them less and less as they go on. Where like 1 to me is Star Wars. Just like Episode 4 was like this is a movie that's like here's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Episode 1 to me is a start to finish. This is a great movie. Like by itself, you don't need 2 and 3.
I remember watching this a couple years ago and it was just like, dude, some of it's just so cringe. But I agree. The highs are high. The highs are high. The lows are low.
I think you can put that on every movie.
I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, what is as cringe in the original? I mean, like in 4 and 5, that's as cringe as like in 1.
Well, a lot of it is like the special effects. A lot of it is like
sure.
Like the lightsaber.
Like
I think the lightsaber battles are cringe as much as you think they're
episode
fine.
4. The episode 4 is cringe.
I think 4, 5, and 6. Like, if
did you ever see that video where they redid episode 4?
Yeah, and it was sick,
unbelievable.
But like, I mean,
awesome.
Absolutely. But that's the thing is like it's at the end of the day when you're looking at it. And
but dude, I'm looking at it was 1970 whatever.
Absolutely, but then it was 1999.
Yeah,
I'm just saying like
you benefit from that. But dude, Jar Jar is such a bad character. He's so annoying.
I think he's misunderstood.
He just takes away from the movie.
But I think that giant battle scene between all the Gungans and all the droids.
Yeah,
you have that. You have the Jedi fight. You have the Star fight. You have the
thing that puts me off about the prequels too is that obviously everything looks much nicer and it's supposed to be before 4 happened, whereas like 4 is everything's like a junker and
yeah. But I guess it really depends on like what you're looking at too, because you have like the Imperials who are very like sterile and everything is kind of pristine and everything else is like you're seeing this decrepit like result of Imperial rule.
Sure. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm just saying like the nicest stuff of the Empire is not even close to the nicest stuff you see on Naboo.
Yeah, but it's a perfect example, and this is why they went like when George Lucas went back and kind of added all the extra things of Naboo, of Coruscant.
Yeah, right.
But like you go like all you're doing is Yavin, Endor, Hoth, like all these desert or jungle planets just because I'm sure budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
But then to be able to realize just how big of a universe it is and how expansive it is and to see kind of like the heart of civilization in the Star Wars universe, Episode 1 was the first time you got to do that. And I think it's on my list. I would
put it as a maybe.
Put
it as a maybe right now.
Okay.
Put it as a maybe.
All right.
On the bubble. All right, let's move to Episode 2.
Episode 2 is the worst Star Wars movie.
Out of all of them?
Of the prequels.
Prequels,
honestly,
yes.
Out of, you know what? Depending on the day, I would say it might.
I have it as the third worst movie.
It's
of all.
It's pretty bad. I would say I could give you third.
I have it as number 9 out of 11.
I might even say
2 of the sequels are worse.
Sure.
Spoiler. I really do.
So Episode 2 is not on the list. I do want to do a shout out of watching Yoda come in. When you watch it again, the fight scene's not that good, like CGI wise. It's kind of like it's a little funny. But in the moment, right? But in the moment when you're
the best part of that movie is the clones when they come in at the end in the Coliseum. That's so sick.
It's cool. It's just there's too much CGI.
Oh yeah, I know it's CGI to death. But dude, when the clones come in on their dropships, man, that's awesome.
I completely agree. And when you see like the hints of, oh, this is where stormtroopers come from, or this is where Star Destroyers come from.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm not thinking that until the end when I'm just like...
That's where they go to Camino and stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Which, again, Camino is like this extra thing
of like, do you
2
need or is this 3? And I kind of blur them, so forgive me. Where they start off, and it's like a buddy cop movie with him, Obi-Wan and Anakin. Is that 3?
No, that would be...
Is that 2?
That would be 2 because that's with the bounty hunter and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Aura Singh, I believe.
Yeah. That's 2. Okay. It starts off
No. I'm sorry, it's not Aura Singh. That's a different bounty hunter. Aura Singh is the person from the pod race. Anyway.
I love the pod race.
I had all the cards from
the kids. 2's not on the list, but... It's bad.
2 is terrible. 2
because
has
the whole movie's
infamous...
it's just like Jedi Council's talking, right?
Jedi Council. Well, that's the thing. Is like you're looking at
you're literally watching C-SPAN.
The love stories are
like
it's just like you want to talk about cringe.
That's cringe.
I don't care
It's cringe as
If
fuck.
you take Padme and Anakin and you put it against Jar Jar Binks, Padme and Anakin are cringier than Jar Jar Binks.
I agree with you.
That's all I have
Padme
to say
and Anakin
there.
aren't in episode 1. Jar Jar Binks is.
Look,
And Jar Jar Binks gets less and less important. They should have went with Darth Jar Jar. Ever hear
hear that theory? Jar Jar
watched-
Binks, I would
I watched that
argue, is
video.
one of the most important things because
That would have redeemed him. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm a bubbling idiot. Just kidding, I'm the most powerful Sith alive, bitch. That would have been fucking awesome.
But that's the beauty of it, where people don't accept what he is, and then they go
I
off
know,
and do
but
the fan
that's
theory.
we talk about sticking to your guns. Lucas should be like, fuck these guys.
He did.
This is my vision.
He
no,
did.
he didn't. He got rid of Jar Jar. He got
Well-
relegated to like the assistant to Padme, man.
I
Just
think that
in
I
the
think
background,
you
like a
just
stooge.
You just start cramming too much stuff in at that point.
But
Like,
he was supposed to be the whole point of it.
Yeah.
But they replaced him with Dooku. Imagine if it was Jar Jar instead of Dooku,
Oh,
man.
you were talking about with I see
Yeah.
stuff.
Imagine if it was Jar Jar Binks instead of Count Dooku.
It'd be cool.
That would have been crazy.
cool.
That would have been fucking nuts. That would have been nuts.
Sure.
Dude, you ever watch that video?
Which-
It's like a conspiracy theory video where they
Yeah,
go
where
to
they're
Darth
like showing
Vader.
how he's like a
Yeah.
drunk
They're
Jedi
look
master.
Look
and
at this
stuff.
jump he makes in episode 1 into the water.
Yeah, like he literally
that's a
changes
force
direction.
jump.
Yeah.
That's a force jump right there. This guy has force abilities. Yeah,
Yep.
it's so good.
100%.
Oh, I love that stuff. That's like one tier below as compelling as the indoctrination theory for Mass Effect, and I had to slip it in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think
Dude,
you're right.
it is. I was watching. I was like, holy shit, we didn't land on the moon. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways,
Two's not on the
two's
list.
not on the list.
Episode
3.
There are some hints of a interesting backstory
Yeah.
stuff, but like nothing in that movie.
You talking 2 still?
Yeah, like you could take that movie
Yeah.
out and
You just take clips from 2 and it's good.
I don't even know about that, man. I'm
Absolutely,
sorry.
yeah. Dude, the cologne scene is so good. So good. I
it's-
love that scene. And the fight with Dooku's cool. I like that. I like that stuff. The end was good, I thought.
The fight with Dooku is fine. It is not Darth Maul.
No.
That's
agree.
it. It's just Darth Maul is better.
That's one of the best lightsaber
even
fights of all
even
time.
seeing Darth Maul, and not to go back to 1, but like even seeing Darth Maul flying in on his speeder
Yeah.
and literally jumping off the speeder,
Yeah.
and him and Qui-Gon just start fighting
For a little
like,
bit, yeah.
That's sick.
So great. Darth Maul is so underutilized. It's a tragedy. He should have been the big bad throughout all 3, I think. Imagine if he kills Qui-Gon and then gets out.
Sure.
Because he's hurt or something.
Keep,
like he's
keep
hurt.
going with
you
all
know?
of these extra
Yeah, you don't have to.
people.
Yeah,
and stuff.
why do you have to kill Darth Maul there? Imagine he kills Qui-Gon
Yeah.
and fucking Obi-Wan watches that and then he watches him get away because he's hurt or something, so he limps away.
Or he has the stupid force field thing that
Yeah,
you can't get
oh
through.
god, and he fucking sits down cross-legged. That was so funny. And now you have Obi-Wan who's just like, oh, that would mean so much more than fucking Dooku. Like,
Absolutely.
who fucking cares?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
So
all right, 2 off the list. Let's talk 3.
And then you find out that Darth Maul has been training Anakin. Oh my god, it would kill him. It would kill him. I love 3. I love 3.
3 is okay.
3's fantastic.
3's not bad.
And I am completely blinded by the end of the movie, but I don't even fucking care. Actually, no, not even, man. Dude, Order 66 onward, magic. It's unbelievable.
It's well done in that you can see how, because at the end of the day, it's just like, so wait, Darth Vader just goes and kills all that Jedi, and I think they do a pretty good job of like the Jedi are just caught off guard.
Yeah,
and they just get slaughtered
absolutely.
by everything. I do like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense to me. It's not like,
Not that
oh,
they
dude,
get
the Jedi
slaughtered,
would
but-
destroy them. But yeah, they're shooting them from behind, man. They're fucking...
Yeah,
That scene where everyone's getting mowed down from the people and they're
Right.
getting their Order 66. Order 66 onward is just magic, bro. It's
But
so good.
They did my boy Plo Koon dirty because he's the one that gets destroyed in the Starfighter.
Plo Koon is top 5 Jedi
Plo
for me.
Koon's freaking awesome.
He's amazing.
And
He's
I
the
love
best
that
starfighter in the galaxy.
He's very, very good.
Oh, I love Plo Koon.
They wreck Adigala.
But because 2 people pull up next
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
to him, and he's like, "Okay, you guys have my wings," and
Yeah,
then boom,
and-
they just go,
right, but
I
that's the
believe
thing,
it.
is
I
like-
believe it. It's a cheap shot, but
Yeah.
he thought they were fucking on his team, man. Nobody can.
Right.
Maybe he gets a Jedi sense, a Spidey sense.
I mean, Kiadi Money did.
Yeah, true.
Because he was just like, what? And like, this is a big dude with like the forehead and everything.
Yeah.
Like spins. I think that they do a lot of that, like a lot of disservice in the movies, just because they were like, all right, all the Jedi just have green and blue lightsabers. I don't know. And it was just like,
what's wrong with that?
There's just so much like behind the scenes and books and things like that. And I'm not like
that's the problem with it coming out after, though.
Well, it didn't come, like that's the thing though, is you have all these books before the movies were made.
Oh,
right. So then you could have done that. I mean, like freaking Mace Windu got his purple lightsaber just because it's Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing is like, you have these things where it's just there's a kind of disconnect with that. And even with Mace Windu, and I think it was Keanu Money, like they swap lightsabers is like a sign of friendship and stuff, and like none of that is explored, none of that's done. So like people that are super into this lore and stuff since episode 1, when it's just like
it kind of went for the more broad audience,
right?
It didn't really go for it.
So a lot of that stuff is just kind of like, it's fine.
That's fair.
I'm sorry. Like acting is hard. I'm sure I could obviously not. Like I couldn't even think to do it.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen is not my favorite. My favorite actor.
Great. It wasn't great.
But
I will say on Mustafar, it's fantastic.
It's good.
I literally cry every time.
It's good.
It's amazing.
I think it's
and it's probably just because of Obi-Wan. Well, it doesn't even matter, dude.
Yeah, it's a 12-minute lightsaber fight.
It's the best fight in the entire series. It's the best fight in the entire series.
Me personally, I disagree, but
that's fine. You can think episode 1, but it is so insane and what it means. Like, yeah, Darth Maul's cool, and they're fighting him. But this guy vouched for Anakin.
Yeah.
Brought him up against everyone's better judgment. And now he's trying to kill him.
What it
means, what the fight is, it's unbelievable.
What I'm saying is it never felt like an actual payoff. It never felt like
really?
Like he like earned me caring. Specifically with Anakin because of the acting.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
And I know this is like apples and oranges, but I didn't get like a Thanos feel from it where I'm like, your reasoning's flawed, but I can feel why you're trying to do that. It just like he was just too. It comes down to the acting, and to me that kind of ruined the whole thing where he's just like, I have power, and like just starts like fighting them and stuff, and like I mean,
well, dude, here's the thing, and I don't mean to be a huge Anakin apologist, but the guy was
for
episode 1.
Yeah, so I mean that's fine.
The guy was taken like from his home like when he was a kid and trained by a bunch of fucking old dudes.
Watch his mom
old
die,
virgin
all
dude.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy's not going to be. He's going to be awkward as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He can't interact with people so yes, it's bad acting, but to pretend like he's going to be this suave, badass kind of villain kind of dude or person character. No way, man. He would be totally awkward. It'd be totally cringy.
I just think the tone is so like, because they're like super buddy in the beginning, right? And I get it because they're trying to show this juxtapose of like, if you look at the beginning of the relationship.
Well, dude, Anakin, and I think they do this well where it's like Anakin's a prodigy. And when you're dealing with a prodigy, you have people who are going to use you and you don't know who to trust. And you kind of get that vibe here. He's like, the Jedi are just using me because I'm the chosen one.
Sure.
My midichlorian's off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I can definitely sympathize with that situation where it's like, man, that must suck for him. He doesn't know who really cares about him. He has no family left. He's hasn't had a normal life, right? Like a lot of prodigies haven't, They're so amazing at one thing that they're expected to do that from a young age, maybe. Right. That's difficult. And then you kind of get it in your head that maybe the guy you trusted the most was using you, and so now you're fighting him. It's just crazy.
I agree with everything you're saying. I just
I feel it.
The one thing I will say with episode 3 is they finally got the lightsabers going through droids correct.
That's such a Tyler thing to say.
It is, but the lightsabers connecting to different pieces of droids and seeing the molten metal and stuff and like lopping
nice and clean.
Yeah, like rather than just like hitting a droid and like their arm just pops off.
Right.
Like now you actually see
it go through the
I'm all for
marks.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not
I think
all
Mustafar
for
is
I think the comedy's bad.
Yeah.
I think like
same with 1. Same with 1.
I see. No, I think I'm not saying the comedy's good in 1,
Okay.
but I think the comedy is better in 1.
Maybe.
Like when Jar Jar keeps like snapping up those apples, right? And it's just this dumb thing, and everyone's looking at it. It's this awkward thing, and then Qui-Gon grabs his tongue like that, and he's just this calm and like it's funny, but it's not like Disney funny.
Yeah.
But when R2 and they're just like, oh, it's you. Whenever he like jumps down in the elevator and stuff, and whenever he's like always on the move, like it's just like Obi-Wan is just this slapstick person.
It starts getting into that.
And like he's like R2, where are you and stuff, and R2's like it's echoing and all the droids.
But that's Obi-Wan.
Like,
that's Obi-Wan though.
Well, no, but it's
like we didn't see a different version of Obi-Wan. I think that's to his character. He's more lighthearted. He's more playful.
The dialogue and the way that was all it just hit a wrong chord for me.
All right,
because you go from that to like if you look at Jedi, like Return of the Jedi, whenever Han Solo is like trying to get through the blaster, he's like, I think I got it, and then like the door is closed. That seems like a Disney joke, but his delivery and the way it felt
you're just not gonna
funny.
Have Prime Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, exactly.
You know, that's like having Michael Jordan.
I just feel like 2 was just rough, and I don't think there was too much comedy in 2.
No,
but in 3, the jokes in the writing just seemed off.
Yeah, maybe it went a little too much, but dude,
in the beginning, the end, I agree with you. Like once like shit starts going down,
Order 66 onwards, fantastic.
Yeah,
just unbelievably good. So good.
Tell you what, I'll put it right next to episode 1 on the maybe.
I'll put it on the maybe. Okay, I'm good with the maybe. But just watching the Emperor orchestrate everything, I love that.
Yeah.
The politics involved. He's taking power right under their noses. Mm-hmm. You know, the emergency power. Oh, I'll give you your power back once we've settled this.
Yeah.
The fake war. You find out it's a fake fucking war. Amazing.
I think
what a brilliant strategy by the Emperor.
But then you run into this issue of like
and you have Dooku
guys fighting,
and you have Dooku who believes in the separatist cause.
Yeah,
you know, because they want to be a free federation from the Republic. Okay, they just want to be their own thing,
right? Because he's not like,
and he was completely lied to by his master. It's fantastic. It's fantastic political gamesmanship.
Yeah. Okay. So why is the political piece in episode 1 like this travesty?
It's better than 2. I'm not saying it's a travesty. That's not even what I know.
I'm just saying that's a general argument by people.
The
is
trade
like,
routes. I actually kind of like it. I think it's interesting.
I do too, and I think that's the adult.
I just hate Jar Jar so much. Every time he's on screen, I want to throw up.
I hate Padme so much.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not even defending Padme. She sucks.
Anakin.
I see. The weird thing is, as a kid, I really liked Anakin for some reason. I don't know why.
That tracks. I could see that.
Yeah. I don't know. That scene of Mustafar, it gets me every time. When he says, I hate you,
it's that is the only good acting he put through.
It hits me in the gut every time. Every time.
Who knew that all you have to do is scream?
Spit a little bit. Yeah.
Just be on fire and scream a little bit.
Man, that was so good.
That's the infamous no at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, man.
God. It just gets me every time. Like,
let's
tragedy. That's just tragedy. All right.
So we'll shift some gears. And I forget the exact order these came out. So why don't we tackle Solo and Rogue One real quick?
All right. I am a big fan of Rogue One.
I liked Rogue One.
I am okay on Solo. I think Solo's
Solo is fine. It's just a ballsy move. And I don't even know the guy's name. It's nothing against his performance.
Right.
I think it's a very tough thing, especially in a movie like Star Wars, where it's like you got the part because not necessarily just because you look kind of like Han Solo or young Han Solo, but like you have to be another person.
Exactly.
You have to.
Yeah.
And if you're not,
it's just never a good idea.
I think there were maybe 1 or 2 points that he either smiled or like did kind of this like crooked grin or laugh. Like he said a couple things where I'm just like, I can kind of see it, but
just
it was just too rough.
I'm with you there. It's just like it just didn't like you can't do Harrison Ford.
No, but on the flip side
he
of that,
came into it, was it as bad as I was expecting it to be? No. Yeah. I actually thought it was better than I expected it to be. So I think it's mid-tier. I think it's mid-tier. I think they did the best that they could with the circumstance. I just think wow, did we not need that movie? We saw so much
Yep.
Han Solo. I was not craving a Han Solo origin story.
Right.
I was craving a Boba Fett origin story.
Yeah.
Some of these things that are not explored. Imagine that. You can cast whoever you want for that.
And they're making good on that, but they're doing it on the opposite end with Mandalorian.
Man, imagine if they really did that, with that movie, that feature length.
See,
that would have been fantastic.
I don't know if I care
or
too
Jango
much,
Fett.
like, yeah, but even that, it's just like I don't like that universe. I like the original trilogy timeline, which is why Rogue One hits so good for me because it's in that setting.
Yeah.
And you don't need, which I can't believe I'm saying this, because like to me, you need lightsabers and the Force and everything in there.
That's a testament to how good that movie is.
Right. But it paved the way. Whenever you look at that and you start putting the setting of Rogue One and what goes on there and the writing and acting and everything, and then you start looking at Mandalorian and like the similarities there.
Right.
Like Rogue One for me is up there in terms of movies.
It's fantastic.
Solo,
the fact that
not
you
so
can
much,
go
but-
back and fix a plot hole from the original, that is craftsmanship.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned. Fantastic. And it's so brilliant, like you said. You think you need Jedis and Sith and lightsaber fights in Star Wars, and then you realize you go this whole movie and you're like, this is awesome, and I'm not getting any of that. And then at the end, they're like, just in case you wanted that, here's the best scene maybe from any movie.
It's very, very good.
Maybe
it
from
actually
anyone.
makes, if for the first time, I would argue it makes you scared of Darth Vader.
Yeah. This is Darth Vader fully realized.
Yeah.
Because, was he menacing in 4 through 6? Yeah. The acting was great,
But you didn't get to see.
Did we have the technology to see that in action? No. But we knew it. It was there. But in Rogue One.
Yep.
That's
just
it.
watching
the technology,
him just throw people around and
caught up.
shred through everything.
Oh, my God.
It's real
The
good.
screams, the dark hallway, all you hear is the fucking lightsaber, the red.
Yep.
And it's Vader. You hear the breathing. It's fantastic.
Now, the downside, you also get don't choke on your own ambitions as he's choking somebody and whatnot. So, like, it's not a flawless movie.
No.
But it is interesting. I liked the plot and everything like that. And it was
great.
Neat,
I thought, one of the biggest plot holes. Why would they leave this hole in the fucking Death Star? That seems stupid. Wow. It was an inside job.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I would actually
I would consider it.
I would consider it.
I would fight for my movie before I would put that on. I'm sure you would fight for yours. So we'll talk. We'll talk through it.
All right, let's move on. 7.
7.
Force Awakens.
I liked 7 a lot.
Okay. Oh.
So
Really?
let me
Okay,
and
okay,
not put on the top 5 list.
Sure.
a lot.
Okay.
But that the opening of 7,
Yeah,
incredible.
I agree.
Honestly, Kylo Ren's voice, him holding the bolt and everything. I loved all of that.
Fantastic.
The moment,
I was like, holy shit, this is a great villain.
all the new characters I loved.
Okay.
Truly, I did.
Yeah,
Like I'm going in, and I'm just like, I think they're all good actors. I think
I thought Poe or
Finn
was okay. Like
Finn's fine,
Yeah.
and
He's
they utilized him less and less. It got worse and worse as
had
it went.
a great opportunity to explore a rogue stormtrooper that was kind of squandered.
But he was good. I think the comedy there was
He's
passable
kind of like
okay.
a fucking like scared, and I would have loved to see like a hardened stormtrooper badass
yeah.
set in his ways, kind of get shown the light or something, someone who's capable and.
But you
something
need
like that.
I guess who would play
I would
the part
switch.
of,
So I would switch Finn and Poe, and so Finn would now be like a stormtrooper who kind of switches teams because of circumstances, who's kind of hardened and capable and badass. And I would have like a pilot who's kind of clumsy and stuff, because we haven't really seen that. Like a pilot
cool.
who's really lucky and like,
that would actually
guys,
be
I've only made it here
hilarious.
because I'm fucking lucky. Like
that would
I don't
be-
even know how to fly, fly an X-Wing man. You know what I mean?
That would be
That'd
pretty
cool.
cool.
That'd be cool,
That'd
right?
be neat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like a shift in dynamic like that. That would be kind of neat.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess my thing is like I liked all the characters, all the new things. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it was flawless again.
Because
but
remember, Poe's
I
like a
liked everyone
fucking janitor.
introduced. Yeah.
Like, that was so stupid. It's like, oh, so you're nobody.
But I enjoyed
I don't know.
I enjoyed bringing it in, seeing kind of again that setting, seeing
Oh,
kind
it's
of what
new.
was going
Yeah,
on.
that
Stuff.
setting was cool with the crash Star
Yeah.
Destroyer, and she's kind of roaming around, and I I love the intro. Yeah, I agree with you.
The moment they get back onto like whenever like Han Solo walks out on the thing, I'm just like, this is going to destroy
How much better?
everything.
Yeah, how much better would it have been if there was like no cameos?
I would.
Yeah.
That's I guess where I'm getting at is take all old characters
Like,
out
talk
and
about
just make
their-
this a new Star Wars.
Talk about their legacy, of
Yeah.
course.
Yep. 100%.
Talk about their legacy, but
I
didn't need Harrison Ford.
100%.
What his worst performance
he
by
had
far.
yes, and he had literally one line where his nose, and I think we've talked about this before, where his nose scrunched up, and the guy's like, "Can you do like the Force thing or whatever?" And Harrison Ford kind of like pushes him against the wall with his like nose scrunch. He's like, "That's not how the Force works." And like that's the one and only time you see like Han Solo and like his sarcastic like you moron.
You see that
like
a little
all
bit.
of that, and that was like
And-
that
and-
glimmer,
and
and then
we'll-
it just dies.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about this with the sequels, but how dirty did they do all of the original characters?
Yeah.
How disgustingly
That's what I mean. Like you can't. You're
Horrible did
shoehorning
they do
in. You're
that.
doing all this stuff, and like
Han Solo starts episode 7 where he started episode 4. Him and Chewie against the world, not bounty hunters, but smugglers. Mm-hmm. Everything he had with Leia thrown away.
Yep.
His whole arc was completely erased.
And
It was completely erased.
it says something where, like, obviously, this is when Disney got hold of Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
And they
Yeah.
basically said, hey, all the books, fanfic, they're
Oh.
gone, retcon it all.
That's
And-
the mistake they made.
But
And
then
we've
you're-
talked about this a million times.
Yeah, and you're looking at the plot lines and all this stuff, and it's just like, okay, I'm seeing kind of what they're grabbing from and
Right.
piecing together
Yeah.
and doing different
Yeah.
things. So like, I even pushed that all aside, which was very hard for me to do because I was very much into that lore and that
Yeah.
like post Jedi thing.
Yeah.
And I gave all of that a pass in 7, and then it just gets worse and worse
Yeah.
and farther down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let the record show, I liked 7. I was happy they went and did a little bit more practical effects, and they kind of pulled that back
I
a
think
little bit.
7's okay.
Yeah.
It's a ripoff of 4, but I totally understood it at the time, playing it safe. The
It's
fucking
Star
this is a
Wars
Death
2.0.
Star, but it can blow up multiple planets. Yes.
But the thing is, that
It's
was
so
a
bad.
thing.
Like, dude, imagine this. Imagine we get to see the Republic, the New Republic, for like 1 second until they get fucking wiped out.
Yeah.
Dude, come on, show me the New Republic. Now we're rebels again. Then we just win this war.
Yeah.
It would have been so much more interesting if it was the dynamics were shifted, where the Empire's now the kind of guerrilla warfare style.
Yeah, but
where they're kind of rising up again. You know.
Like, you have the Thrawn trilogy, you have all these other things of like,
That's what I'm saying.
you could make
and,
it.
and I've said this a
yeah.
million times.
Right.
Pick any fucking popular novel, comic series,
Yep.
whatever you want. Just do that. Do you want to make money? Do you want to print money, Disney? Just pick any one of that stuff that you fucking
basically have
relegated.
A script. Yeah, it's
you
like
have
here
the
you
whole
go.
script. Even Marvel does this loosely, with what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go shot for shot, which I will say you could, and you would probably
Right.
be very successful.
Yep.
But just use it as a fucking guide. Why would you get rid of the extended universe? So stupid on Disney's part. Oh, we can do it better. Yeah.
And if you want to get
Yeah.
rid of it, that's fine. But you can't, like, they weren't confident enough to get rid of it because they were like, but we're going to take some of these
Right.
thoughts and
Yeah.
ideas
Yeah.
and different things.
No,
We're just
I think it was
gonna-
a mistake to get rid of it. You're not going to do
Window.
better. I think extended universe was really well done.
Yeah.
Some of those things were really great. Some of those storylines,
Yep.
where you get Han and Leia's kids, right?
It's just everything that Jedi did, and we talked about this, where Jedi ended on such a good note, and this movie was like everything that you thought was like fine or tied up or whatever. It's just like, we just burned
Dude,
it all.
exactly. And it's just like it's episode 4 again.
Yeah.
We're starting from square one.
I
And
get
how
people-
how disappointing is that? To be like, oh, so we went through all 3 of these movies for no reason then.
I get people saying it's like a rehash and things like that. Again, reading the books,
It literally is.
but it's rehashed so many times. Like that's no, like you have to have something at stake.
No, I understand, but dude, there's a Death Star.
Yeah.
We're now rebels again.
Sure.
We're literally calling ourselves the rebels again.
Yep.
We have like nothing, and they have everything.
It's for the
How
next generation.
Where's the
though.
fucking First Order come from? They lost the war.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand, man. It just doesn't make sense. It wasn't explained well, and I know some people
And they
might
try
say
to wrap
that
it
they're
up in
yeah.
like 8 and 9, and they try to
Yeah,
kind
I
of make
just-
things
dude,
fit. but-
dude, just pick a fucking book.
Yeah, there wasn't a clear vision.
Just pick a book,
for the
and it would have been
trilogy.
so
Yeah.
good. You would have
I
had a
agree.
vision. It's literally like Disney didn't want to make money. I
Yeah.
mean, they did make money, but dude, how good would have it been?
I think
the
seven.
best-
I think
pick the
seven's
most
okay,
popular.
but, yeah.
Pick the most popular post 6 book or series or whatever,
100%.
and you would have just been printing money.
Yep.
It would have been fantastic because you know it's a good story.
What they should have done is did a Luke like if you really wanted to go down that road.
Yeah.
Is have a movie that's dedicated with like Luke training, and then you have
Yeah,
the fall
and
of
that's the
Kylo
thing.
Ren,
And that's the
that
thing
would be
too,
like the
because
episode
it's
7.
Luke or Mark Hamill was still super invested. He loved Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he was great from what he did. I mean, he was given shit, but
Yeah, I mean,
he
like,
did good with
still,
what he
like,
had.
he still didn't. Yeah, I mean,
and he would have been totally down to still reprise that role. Whereas Harrison Ford, yeah, you lost him. Like, he doesn't want to play Harrison Ford
Luke,
anymore.
you
He
need
made that very clear.
Well, right, but like you need Luke finally became the old Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like that should have been like
exactly
where that kind of went. But,
Yeah.
So 7 obviously not on the list. 8,
Awful.
not
So
yeah,
bad.
8's really bad.
Do you like Rey, by the way?
I think Rey's fine.
I think she gets worse and worse as it goes on.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Like I think Rey's fine. Like honestly,
I just
like
hate
the
how good she is out of nowhere. And everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
she did
well,
train," but it's
sure.
like, I guess she trained in 8 a little bit for like 3 days, literally. But dude, we see those scenes on Dagobah with Luke, man, and yeah, they're short scenes, but it's implied that he's been there for a significant amount of time.
Right.
Where this guy's demeanor changes, like him in 5 and him in 6. I mean, come on, just the acting. There's a demeanor change. Like you feel the difference. You feel the progress he's made.
Right.
This guy's a Jedi master at that point. With Rey, it's like she's always been insane. She literally reads someone's mind in episode 7. Like, what?
Yeah.
Are you insane? Like, what? We've never seen this from any Jedi master, and she just does it and doesn't even understand what the Force is? I don't know, man. And I guess they try to make sense of that in 9, but it just feels crazy to me. I don't like it. There's no arc there. She's just always been
Just top
there.
of yeah. Like I don't discount the fact that there are like the powerful, like you could have like this like all powerful Jedi.
It doesn't
prodigy
account.
person
Like
and
I'll
stuff
tell
like
you
that.
right now,
Like-
it doesn't account for good storytelling. If there's not an arc, if you have an OP main character, it will not account for good storytelling.
Usually I would
Yeah,
I mean I
of
would
course
agree with
there's
that,
probably
sure.
exceptions, but
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. But he's flawed in so many other ways.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was One Punch Man, but he was also completely sure of himself. You know, like he had confidence in everything he did.
Yeah, I think Ridley Scott does some. Is it Ridley Scott right? Ridley Scott's a director, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. I think she does an okay job with like trying to find herself or trying to do like I don't have an issue with any of the new characters. I just don't think that the story or the writing was particularly.
Yeah, she's a good actor.
Yeah, like, that's what I mean. It's
but
like I think the acting has
the acting's
gotten
good. The
better
script
than
wasn't there, and yeah, I guess I'm with you. But it's just like, dude, I just didn't care about her at all.
Like I don't think she should be able to beat. I agree with you. Like Kylo.
Well, I
Ren
was
should
going to
be
bring
able
up
to
Kylo,
crush
but the
it.
argument
Yeah.
against that is he did take a bowcaster to the chest.
So what?
Dude, a bowcaster rips people in half.
Yeah. So what?
So Kylo's at like 40%
There
strength.
is sure. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's no. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Technically, Darth Maul.
I'm just arguing for Mike Bear right now.
Darth Maul got trampled by a stampede in Tatooine, so he was hurt when he fought Qui-Gon at the end, and he still won.
He still
like
won.
my thing is like if you're
that good,
that's what I mean. Like
it up.
all you have to do is force push
and
once.
Finn hangs with him for a minute.
Right.
Finn should have died in 3 seconds.
Yes.
It should have been a combo move from Kylo and Finn's in pieces. Are you fucking kidding me?
absolutely hated I mean this, every single lightsaber fight in 7, 8, 9.
Yes, me too.
I hated it.
Awful. People bring up the throne room thing with the guards.
Hated
Awful.
it.
Awful.
They like those guys. Like those are the best of the best.
Yes. Just
Like
getting tossed
they should.
aside.
Yeah, they should be absolutely
Tossed aside.
I'll give you like okay, maybe Kylo, but like if you look at Jedi Masters, the creme de la creme, the top Jedi Masters, could not hang with just a few of the clone troopers.
Right.
And granted, some of them were ambushed and stuff, but like some of them were getting like shot at and just they couldn't handle enough of the blasters or whatever.
Right.
Meanwhile, Kylo and Rey, who are just completely untrained, are just
mowing down everyone. Yeah.
Well,
kind of.
But like,
it's like the Royal Guard.
it's more
too.
of a fight than it should be. Like
Absolutely.
Rey should have absolutely been just annihilated by them.
No, totally agree. That scene actually is like, I remember I was watching, so I watch some of these videos sometimes where they have stunt coordinators or stuntmen.
Yeah, I was watching the YouTube videos.
Have you saw that one?
Yeah, it's just
and
like
they're just ripping that scene apart.
Yep.
People falling down with no one punching
just
them.
like jumping around. For no reason,
like
spinning.
that scene's actually choreographed terribly.
Yeah.
Horribly.
Yep.
Like, go watch that on YouTube, man. They rip it apart like real stuntmen.
But that's the thing is you have to have that because the moment you take away...
But it's not even executed well is what I'm pointing out.
No, and I agree with you, but once you take away a Jedi versus Jedi, like trained Jedi and Jedi, all the cool stuff of lightsabers, you lose.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say is you do.
You
like
so if it's just a stomp?
Well, no, not even necessarily a stomp, but what I'm saying is the thing that makes lightsaber fighting cool is it's
the clash.
It's a dance.
Yes,
it is a dance between two trained people. Right. But like,
well, there's a way you can make it because I will point out Rogue One at the end where he's just mowing through people.
But that's because, the opposite side.
Exactly,
is you
because
have to
that you're showing how menacing he is.
Right.
And he's destroying. But this, it's like, oh, so the Royal Guard has no credibility. Right. Like, he was mowing down a bunch of random rebels, like, just fodder.
Yeah.
We knew they were fodder.
Yeah.
But these guys are like, oh, they defend, and Snoke is nobody. Oh, God.
I know.
Fucking hate. It's just like in episode 8, Ryan Johnson was like, oh, you think this is going to happen? Fuck you. Opposite's going to happen.
Yeah.
You think this is going to happen? Oh, we set up Rey's parents? Nope. No one. It's just like insane. It's like you're literally just doing this to defy expectations for no other reason.
And if you look at such like a big gap between critics loving it.
Oh, yeah. You know right away when you go on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you go to the audience and it's like a 20+ point spread.
It's just all fucking, pleasing the whatever.
Yeah.
Like the whole casino planet. What?
Yep.
What was that?
That's
what was that?
To be fair, like, and
I actually was excited. I was like, oh, we get to explore the universe. This could be a cool planet.
Yeah,
I was really excited. Like, actually,
miserable. Yeah.
Wow, was that awful?
We need a hacker, but we don't.
What? It was the biggest waste of time I've ever seen in my life. And then the whole animal abuse thing. It's like, what are we even doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
There's a war going on. There's a war going on for the universe, and we're watching people racing tauntauns or something. Like, what are we doing?
It's. And I keep going back and forth because I hear your arguments where 8 is your least favorite movie, right?
It is by far the worst.
Yeah.
I hate it.
The
whole purple. We didn't even talk about purple hair lady.
I actually liked her.
She's the worst. They set her up like she's the enemy.
No. I liked her. I'm not saying her character and everything. I'm just saying like she would have been if she was brought in at 7. And maybe we had some time to get with her and stuff like.
Check me out here. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Replace her with Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
Easy.
Sure.
Now we're invested.
Sure.
Now we're invested.
And having him do like the
the suicide thing.
Yeah.
Come on. Are you fucking kidding me?
Rather than just like Admiral Akbar.
But you have to have a woman do it. How about you have a fucking what's his race called?
Calamari.
Calamari.
Yeah, Mon Calamari. What I'm saying is
that's diversity.
I liked
right?
her.
You have an alien do it.
I liked her, and I liked the relationship she had with Leia, and I could see kind of like that friendship where it's like, I could see that being a backstory. I know, and then Leia gets blasted out.
Perfect ending for her, and then she flies back like Superman.
Yeah, I mean,
not perfect, but it was beautiful.
Right
in space, she's starting to cruise.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
She's dead in real life, so
Yeah.
this makes a lot of sense to just have her. Nope.
Han Solo dies and Chewbacca just walks right by, like she just walks right by Chewbacca and hugs Rey, who she's never met. Yeah. But I'm with you. And like all of this, like whenever you argue this stuff, and I keep going back and forth because you make this argument, I'm like, yeah, no, 8's the worst. And then Michael makes the argument of 9. I'm like, yeah, 9's pretty bad too. So in my mind, it's these are equally
to be fair,
terrible.
I have 9 in the 10 spot.
Yeah.
Not too much above 8. But the reason 8 is the worst is because 9 was a train wreck because it had to be because of 8. J.J. Abrams set up some questions in 7. 8 said, fuck you, we're doing the opposite. And then J.J. was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And he tried.
And I think that's a good...
But it was awful.
It's a good argument. I wish I had talked with Mike before this because Mike does bring up some good points.
Well, I was trying to be fair to him, like the whole Kylo scene where he takes a bowcaster. That's one of his big points with that. Why Rey can hang with them, which I still don't validate like you do. I mean, not validate, but like I can understand. But
Darth Maul,
if you're that good,
Darth
if you're
Maul
that exactly
gets cut in half.
Yeah, dude, and he comes back,
and
man.
He's fine. His hatred keeps him alive.
His hatred keeps him alive. Exactly, man. Kylo's fucking banging his chest. He should have wiped those two out at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Should have just been about Kylo just taking over the
Dude, he
universe.
needs one force push, one force choke, anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He stops a bullet, but he can't stop a fucking stormtrooper with a lightsaber.
You can shred an entire school of Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But yeah, horrible.
so
Snoke is nobody. I hate that.
So my thing with 9, and the more I think about it, I think the books and this idea, because like a lot of the thing is like, how does he's cloned and he does all this? This is BS. I accepted all of that because that's all in the books.
That's all in the books, and
like,
they do that brilliantly in the books. Yeah,
they do,
exactly.
And that's with the throne and everything. Like, so
what a great arc.
I accepted that.
Right.
Palpatine is extremely powerful. So the fact that he is literally like electrocuting, like I thought Palpatine was like terrifying. Did I, again with the cameos and the people bringing back stuff? Did I want him there? No. I think they could have picked any other Sith. They could have picked like.
Dude, you need. Look at this formula. You have a trilogy, and the big bad isn't introduced until the last movie.
Yeah, and then just saying like I was pulling the strings the whole time.
Yeah, are you
like,
out of your mind?
Yeah.
How? What story writing is that good in?
Yep.
Where we don't get to see the evolution of the big bad. Maybe it's revealed that it's the big bad, like in the prequels, where the Chancellor, he's the Emperor.
But at least you saw him
doing things. Yeah. It's just like, I'm alive. I was here the whole time.
Yeah.
So stupid. Snoke's nobody. Just such garbage, man.
It was, and I'm trying to find words to describe how it felt, but it was like, it's like somebody read the books for the first time and maybe this is just me being like a hipster type of thing of like, I like the books first, whatever. But like, it's them reading the books and trying to translate and explaining to me the books, but it's in a bad way.
It's like someone
it made me angry.
It's like someone read the Spark Notes of the books.
Sure, but
then wrote a movie about it.
Right, but they're like, isn't it cool that Palpatine has clones? It's like, oh my God, you have no idea how close.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a terrible way of thinking. Just like, in life, you don't want to do that, right? Yeah. Like you want to be the person being like, let's enjoy this experience together. Let's enjoy this cool thing together. But I was just
not if you're in charge of the entire franchise.
Well, no,
not if you bought it from George Lucas and you're in charge of this and you're spitting on everything he did and the books did. No, I agree with that. I agree with that point. Like I agree with that point when it comes to someone's new to something. So someone's playing League of Legends for the first time. I'm not going to be a dick to them saying like, how could you not know this? How could you not know to build that?
Right.
You should level this first, blah, 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 or anything, right? But when you're fucking taking over the franchise, you should probably do your research. Yeah, you should probably explain this better.
My only, and this is my thing, is like my only counter to that, and this is the old, like, do I think George Lucas would have went in and created better movies? I am going to say no.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It depends how much
different
control.
Movies, 100% different movies for sure.
It depends how much control you give him.
George Lucas is not the guy writing all of the books and everything. Like he's seen them all and he approves them all. Like it's all technically canon.
Right.
So like when like Chewbacca dies and stuff like that, that's all canon.
I think you need George Lucas on the project as a consultant.
I don't think he went in.
I think you need him as a consultant because I think his overarching ideas are brilliant.
Yeah, and like he came onto like the Mandalorian set and was like looking at stuff. But you need the people that like Filoni.
Yes.
And I think that's how you pronounce his name. Who loves the universe so much.
If they did the sequels, yes.
That's the thing. Is you need them to come in.
But I do think you need George Lucas involved.
I'm not like
even if he doesn't have any decision making power.
it would be a good
I think you need him
source of knowledge to tap. Hey, did you ever think of this? Or what I'm saying is, I think this has grown bigger than what he had originally conceptualized. He did his 6 movies, right? Like he did his arc of Skywalker. I am so sick of Skywalker and everything being related to Skywalker. Like and spoilers for The Mandalorian, but like when Skywalker showed up, I was angry at it because it's like, why does it have to be him? During this timeline, like you could have Kyle Katarn or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But like from the Dark Forces series, like there are other characters that you could bring in and
I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see their
characters.
offspring too.
Sure,
like Han and Leia have like what, 3 kids or something?
Jason, Jaina, and Anakin.
Yeah,
yeah.
How sick when
all that
you could cast those 3.
Yep.
And then
Jason
Luke,
and Jaina.
Luke
like,
is the Jedi Temple. Does Han die in the books and shit?
I would assume.
I mean, you could still put that in. I think that would be brilliant. You make Han die because Harrison Ford doesn't want to do
I'm trying to think. I don't know if he. I would assume he does, but I know like Chewbacca obviously dies. He sacrifices himself in the planet stuff, or moon or whatever. But the whole arc there with like Jason and Jaina and Jason going to the dark side and Jaina having to kill him,
right?
And then you have
how insane
Mara
is that?
Jade and Luke and their son, who is named Ben.
Exactly, dude. I'm saying the lineage is there, and it would have been so. And yes, it's related to the Skywalkers, but it's its own thing. It's the next generation, like literally.
It's not shoehorning it in. Like,
I know.
Like now what? Okay, cool. You brought Luke Skywalker in. He took Grogu. Good job.
Yeah.
Now what? You have to CGI a rough. Like again, because it's a TV show. It's not a high budget movie.
Yeah.
But like now you got to CGI in Luke Skywalker every time you want to do something. Like come on.
Yeah, I don't like it. 8 and 9 don't make it. Long story short.
Correct.
Dude, the way Luke dies, Luke is the most disrespected out of all of them.
Yeah.
That when he drinks that milk, I wanted to die.
All of it is.
I knew. I had a bad feeling.
I'm sorry. I should say at this point, and I'm gonna have to make a note of it. So 120. So I know we talked about 8 and 9. It's only fair. Calvin did call in, and he wanted to defend 8. So after we said our piece, did you want to say anything else about it before we?
They completely disrespect Luke. It's fucking a travesty. Yeah. He's drinking milk. It's so cringe. We're talking about a guy. So I've said this a million times, but I want to get this on the record. For the first time, we're getting this on the record.
Yep.
Luke Skywalker is the guy who went up against the most evil guy in the galaxy and refused to fight him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's how much like he, is, right?
Right.
Like he's willing to die for this shit.
Yep.
And then you're telling me that he goes in the middle of the night. He has a bad sense about this kid that he's training, who's his nephew, and tries to kill him in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? What Luke Skywalker are we talking about?
Yeah, and it's like you need context. You need to see that.
Yeah,
and if
for some reason, if he had a premonition, even then, I don't think, because I think he does have like a vision or something.
And if he does.
He has a vision that is burning.
Right.
He doesn't even have a vision that it's Kylo. But I think, unless I'm wrong,
they explain it. It was Kylo. But like my thing is, you need to see Luke having to kill his own students as they're killing other students, and like Luke's defending the students, and like you need to see this like internal war in the school.
But it's such a
because
Luke would never, even if you thought Kylo Ren was the most evil person in the galaxy, he would never sneak up to him in the middle of the night and kill him in the middle of the night. That is not Luke's style. That is dishonorable.
But what I'm saying is,
he would never do it. He would never stab someone in the back like that.
You would assume that. But what I'm saying is, if that was the end goal, and
you better have a really great explanation.
But that's what I'm saying is, you can't do that. You can't go from A to Z and miss the general thing. Like if you look at his arc, I could see him getting to that point. I could see him being
I really can't.
But that's the beauty. Like that would be the beauty of
I could see him saying
storytelling.
F the Jedi, but I could never see him saying I'm going to kill my nephew in the middle of the night.
But imagine,
in his sleep,
right? But imagine that.
But then you have to make him the villain.
But imagine him. That's the end goal. Is he's going to do that, and that's the story I want to see. Is what is that story arc in the time that you don't see Luke?
He has to be the villain then.
Maybe
you can't redeem him after that.
Or is Kylo that evil?
He's a kid.
You
We
don't,
have no idea.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's all potential. He's nothing yet.
And it's all subjective stuff, and we have no idea. But what I'm saying is, one way or the other, if we know that the final result is what happened in 8, you need to explain that. You cannot just
if you're going to have a chance at making it good, you have to explain it. I still, even if that's the end goal, don't think you get there. With everything we saw in 4 through 6.
All I'm saying
that
is,
arc,
I think that would be a fantastic story, though.
The arc that we saw completely erased.
Right.
From Luke going from this.
But there's a lot of time there. So what I'm saying is, like, with that arc, like, I would love to see the story to be like, all right, can you make this a payoff? Can you convince us?
Yeah, there's always
that
a chance that you can. Yeah, there's always a chance that they can do that. But it's just like, dude, we went through the arc. Okay, you can't just erase it like nothing happened.
Dude, we are saying the exact same thing. I 100% agree with you. I'm just saying
you want Luke to be evil.
No, I don't. But what I'm saying is, like, if you saw Luke having to, like, let's take even him, like, about to kill Kylo, and Kylo just decides, like, F this, I'm going to just burn this place down.
Yeah.
I can see Luke just saying, like, I effed up. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
As he's literally having to kill his own students to save other students.
Yeah.
And even then, can't save everybody. And
I would love that.
And I would assume probably
that.
gets beat and left for dead.
And then you see him in 7 and it makes sense.
Yes, and then he's this absolute broken shell of a man. 100%.
Now that makes sense.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is, like, that's the stuff that you need to see.
Yes.
And then then that would be your lightsaber fights. That would be the dance. That would be these people are trained, they know what they're doing.
Yep.
Not this, like, hack and slash, like, it's. And granted, to be fair, like, with the way that, like, Luke and even Darth Vader fought, it was very barbaric compared to like episodes 1, 2, and 3. So you could see if that's Luke as a quote unquote master in Jedi, and that's how he trains everyone else. I could see where Kylo gets his style from, or Rey, or whatever. Still hate it, but So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4, 5, and 6 on the list.
We're going to listen to Calvin's.
I'm sorry. Yes,
Calvin's,
we will cut to
defense
Calvin's
of 8.
defense of 8,
and that will be put here. You should probably check the time.
Yep, it is an hour 27.
Perfect.
Calvin, you have the floor.
Hey, John. Hey, Tyler. Hello, Couch Company crew. This is Calvin, and I'm here in defense of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. I know that Tyler and John are not huge fans of the movie, and in fact, I think it's their least favorite. I'm of the minority opinion that it was good. Now, am I saying it is the greatest? No. Am I saying that it deserves a place in the top 5? Yes. The 3 biggest complaints that I often hear about Star Wars The Last Jedi are Rose and the entirety of that character, how Kylo Ren turned to the dark side, involving Luke, and Admiral Holdo not talking to Poe, and that general conflict there. So I'm going to start with Admiral Holdo and Poe. Now, I think the common thing that I hear is that it would have been easy and it would have made everything go faster if Admiral Holdo had told Poe the plan. First and foremost, one of the last things that Leia did as a general was to demote Poe. And I think that's mentioned in the movie, that Admiral Holdo doesn't want to immediately undo her best friend's last order. Second of all, in a military situation like that, if you have an officer like Poe who is consistently going against the grain and not following orders, you wouldn't trust them with high-level secrets on the off chance that they try and do something rash and fuck up the whole situation. I think that was completely justified. Secondly, Kylo Ren. Now, one of the things that I've seen, like Sam Witwer, who played Starkiller and Darth Maul, said that the last thing that we saw from Luke was an act of compassion to save Darth Vader, right? And so why would then he, on an instinct, try to kill Ben Solo? I think that it is perfectly justified, because if you'll recall from Episode 6, Luke almost kills Vader. He gives in to his anger for a hot minute and just absolutely bashes the ever-living fuck out of Darth Vader, even cutting off his hand. After that moment of succumbing to the darkness inside of him, Luke realizes that that was wrong, that's not the Jedi way, and he forgives his father. Which I would say is very similar to what happened with Kylo Ren. He saw darkness within him, and in a moment of weakness, like he said, fell through and almost succumbed to it. Now, he didn't kill his nephew because he was able to hold himself back. But you have to understand how that definitely looks to Kylo Ren, waking up to see, your uncle holding a lightsaber above your head. That's kind of scary. You can't deny that. So I think that was fairly reasonable, if not a little bit odd. Now, I will concede on this last point. I think that Rose was a very not unnecessary character, as she did serve a purpose, for the whole arc with the hacker and the decoder. I think that was an interesting concept. I think that a lot of the hate for Kelly Marie Tran, the actress, was completely unjustified, as, she just played the character. It's not like she wrote it. The other thing I'm going to say is that, I agree. It was kind of unnecessary. It wasn't great. And her stopping Finn from sacrificing himself, kind of not great. So I'll give you that one. But I think, overall, it's not the worst movie, like lots of people bring it up. And considering there are 9 in the Skywalker saga, and then 2 outside in Solo and Rogue One, I don't think it's anywhere near the bottom. I would say 5 or 6 personally, if I was going to go with an overall consensus. But for me personally, it's in my top 3.
Okay, that's some interesting thoughts.
Yeah, like I said, there. When you hear the other side, there are some good points that they bring up. But is it enough for me to really shift my position? It's tough. It is tough.
It's very tough.
But let's rank these suckers.
Yeah, it's not on it. Okay, so I'm sorry, Colin, buddy. All right, so
give him a chance, man.
4, 5, and 6 is on the list.
4, 5, 6
we
on the
have
list.
1 and 3 hanging out in the wings.
And Rogue One.
You want to put Rogue One on the wing as well?
I love Rogue One on the wings. I think it's very good.
All right.
I think it's very good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, here's what this comes down to.
Yeah.
Are we going to put Rogue One above your movie? Are we going to put Rogue One above my movie?
I will fight.
Or are we kicking Rogue One out?
Very, very hard to.
I think Rogue One is better than Episode 1. I really do.
I think you are nuts.
Rogue One is way more consistent than Episode 1. While the highs of Episode 1 may be higher than Rogue One, even though I would argue that the highest point of Rogue One kind of gets there. You can't tell me that scene with Darth Vader isn't up there with Darth Maul's fight. Come on.
One
Come on.
2.5 minute scene with Darth Vader
Doesn't matter. It's that good.
It's good. It is not good
It's
enough.
not just good. It's that good.
No, it's not good enough.
That might be one of the
propel
best
that.
scenes in all of Star Wars.
It's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's a very good story and a piece in the lore.
The story's great.
To me, it's still
the
not
acting's great.
but it's still not a Star Wars movie.
There's no cringe. It's consistent. It's consistent.
It's still not a Star Wars movie.
Why?
It's not. It does not make me, that does not make me feel Star Wars. It just doesn't.
It makes me feel Star Wars. It's so relevant to the beginning of 4.
It's relevant to 4, but it's not.
And it's because it's from a different perspective, maybe.
Absolutely.
But I like that. I like that different perspective. I like
the different perspective. It's not a better movie than 1.
Oh, it is.
One is a Star Wars Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars movie. Star Wars. It's Star Warsing.
Yes.
All over the place.
It is.
But is it good?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Dude, the bad parts of 1 are so bad.
No.
I do love pod racing though.
No. I don't need to rehash this. Episode 1 is better than Rogue One.
I think the lows are lower than Rogue One's lows. Would you agree with that?
Mainly because I don't remember a lot of Rogue One.
Okay.
So I can't say one way or the other.
I would say yes. I think Rogue One's more consistent. But yes, the highs of 1.
Consistent, mediocre.
And I defend 1 a lot. Don't get me wrong. I defend 1 a lot because I defend the prequels a lot. Where it's like, what did 1 give us? One of the best fights of all time with Darth Maul.
One of the best tracks of all time
One of the best
in
tracks
all
of all
of Star
time.
Wars. I would say
pod racing. Dude, I think pod racing is so slept on. I love pod racing. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Great end fight scene.
Great. Yeah.
You got Liam Neeson. You got to see Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Liam Neeson's very good. Liam is very good.
What did Rogue One give us? We got a great Darth Vader scene. Don't get me wrong. That's a great Darth Vader scene.
And we fixed the plot hole from 4. Yeah. So
but people, I would argue that plot hole is like, yeah, all right.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
Why would they leave a hole in the fucking Death Star?
Do you need to do a 2.5 hour movie
it's
or 2 hour movie?
It's not the only reason they're doing that. It's a lead into 4.
That's literally the only reason.
No, it's not.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, what? Okay, you have the plan. Like, you see the plans.
We see the intro to 4. What happened? What led up to 4? Because we're kind of just put into 4.
But the only cool part of that movie is like the 5 minutes before 4.
No, the fight's cool. The battle with the plans and everything on the ground, and then they all die at the end. So they were all sacrificing themselves for this. So it's pretty powerful.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Like I said, I liked it.
I will give you this. The characters in episode 1, much more memorable.
Yeah.
Better, of course. Like I like the blind guy, the monk guy. He's cool. But does he light a candle to Liam Neeson? No.
Right.
Obi-Wan? No. Even Anakin as a kid, had some good moments in there, I guess. I like the bug guy, the guy who owns him.
Yeah, Watto.
Yeah, Watto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Panaka.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, I tried. But I'll give you episode 1. I'll give you episode 1. I'll give you episode 1. I'll give you it.
So we're saying 1 and 3 on the list.
Now, here it comes.
Yeah.
What comes above the other?
For 1 and 3?
Yeah.
Well, here. So let's. So you're saying obviously 1 is.
I think 1 should be
5.
number 5. I think 3. I mean, when you think of Order 66 on, the emotions, the power of that, it does it better than anything 1 does.
Can I get Jedi is number 5.
Return of the Jedi?
Yes.
No. If we're going that route, I'll just fucking put 3, 5, dude. Because Return of the Jedi is way better than 1.
You think?
Yes.
You think?
I know.
So just to feel it out, you wouldn't put Jedi as 5, then 1, then 3.
No.
Getting 3, I mean, that's...
I don't want 3 that high. I think Return of the Jedi is better than 3.
All right. I will give you episode 1 as number 5.
If you're going that, if you feel that adamant about it, I will give you it as 4, but we have to have Return of the Jedi above episode 1, if that's what it is. Because I feel stronger about episode 6 than episode 3. I feel stronger about episode 6 than episode 3.
That's interesting. Like I'm willing.
We're talking about
drop.
Jabba's palace.
Yeah, no,
which might be one of my favorite scene in Star Wars. And we're talking about Endor. I love Endor. I love the environment.
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole mission. The speeders. My God, the speeders. I love so many aspects of that. Like, it's just incredible.
I'm sure I am blinded by my nostalgia as a kid to.
You are.
Like, episode 1 gave me the best feeling out of all Star Wars movies.
No, hey, I understand. I told you, you have the nostalgia goggles on. I respect it.
But even watching it now, I still would rather watch 1 over.
You're tainted. It's fine. And it's in our 4 spot. It makes perfect sense.
No, I'll give you. No,
I feel good about it being 4. There's our controversy. There's the clicks. Because, dude, if you're literally saying you think episode 1 is better than 3, I will use my chip on 3 before I use it on 6. Excuse me. I will use my chip, my bargaining chip on 6. Before I'll use my bargaining chip on
6 more than 3. I'm just trying to.
I know you're trying to rattle me a little bit. Yeah,
trying to find some common
I'll
ground.
put episode 1 4. I am actually okay with that.
So you're saying
as long as we put episode 6 above.
Yeah.
Both
so
of
it'd be episode 5.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, episode
Easy.
3 as 5.
Yes.
Then episode 1. Then
in
episode
the 4 slot.
Then episode 6.
Then episode 6 starting the top 3. Yes.
Yes. Episode 4.
Yeah.
And then
we knew what was going to happen.
We already talked about
it.
Are you? I don't want to bully you.
No, I feel good because if I get 1 chip, and this is how I imagine and this is why we're so good at compromising. If I get my 1 chip, I am using that on Return of the Jedi to be in the top
like
3.
one thing you're
Solidified,
actually like
yes.
forcing through.
I am
yeah.
more passionate about Return of the Jedi being top 3 than I am about.
Episode 1 is my second
Revenge of the
favorite
Sith.
Star Wars movie.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
Above episode 4, you're out of your mind.
Depending on the day,
Yeah.
but yes, I would take episode 1.
I will
over
say, just to
episode
bring up
4.
my list real quick here, nobody asked. I have episode 5, episode 4, episode 6, episode 3, Rogue One,
Yeah.
then episode 1, then episode 7. So I do think 1's better than 7. I really do.
Yeah.
I think 1 goes for it because it's an interesting point as well because we're having kind of like there's some gaps in between and now we're starting a new trilogy.
Loved how 7 was shot.
Yeah.
If you could reshoot 1 with a little bit like even more
Yeah,
practical
but you have
effects and
10
stuff.
years,
No, yeah, right.
20 years or
Sure.
whatever, right?
That's what I mean. I'm just saying.
But I think 1 goes for it and I respect that. Whereas 7's like, okay, we're playing it safe.
Do you think they ever remaster these?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, not remaster, remake. Like, do you ever think you say no, but do you ever think you could do what
We talked about this with Marvel.
But do you think they could do it with what Star Trek did?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like when you think
No.
about it, like do you think it's going to be as great? Probably not. And like they've already gone so far the opposite way. Like you're probably
Exactly.
not
Yeah,
gonna get
exactly.
it, but-
Exactly.
Yeah.
What did it say? Let me finish that. Force Awakens is 7, Solo's 8, Attack of the Clones 9, Rise of Skywalker 10, Last Jedi 11. That's my list.
Yeah. I would obviously I would put 1 up above that, but I think
I like 1 more than the public. I do. So I am usually on the other foot where I'm defending
I mean,
1.
so I didn't remember 1 being hated on Rotten Tomatoes as much as
It's hated.
yeah, it's not
hated.
Yeah.
And I think the prequels get way worse of a rap than they should.
They do. So, and I haven't listened to them yet, but apparently Rotten Tomatoes has a podcast series that says why they're wrong, and it's people coming on and arguing against whatever the scores were given,
Oh, really?
which I think is interesting.
The critics score or the audience? Or
I
both?
believe they're going critic score.
Good.
Yeah, so it's like Rotten Tomatoes
I hate the critics.
staff, and they go in and they start kind of arguing for
This is a
things.
completely different rant, and I know we need to wrap this up soon.
We do need to, yeah. We're actually going to see James Bond.
Yeah,
That's a thing.
That'll be fun. Why are there movie critics? The movies are literally made for people like us.
Sure.
It's not. I mean, it is kind of art, right? But you're telling me it's so sophisticated.
People need
I can't.
jobs, man.
I didn't understand that
Dude,
fucking
I mean,
movie.
we spent 90 minutes critiquing.
I know, but it's like
just fun. It's
we're too
interesting.
stupid to understand the movie, so we need critics who are experts on this shit. I mean,
To
that's
tell us the
stupid.
inner workings of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's stupid.
whatever.
Was it entertaining? Did I feel like it was well done?
That's the thing, right? Is like at the end of the day, does it need to say some larger social thing?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. All right, did you want to go over your list real quick, just a rundown?
I didn't have it written down,
Oh, okay,
so
sorry.
I agree with pretty much everything you said. So I would say it'd be 5, 1, and then basically
4,
what you said.
6,
Yep.
Yep. So on. Okay.
I would probably put 3 above Rogue One. 3, the more I
I think you need to rewatch 3. I think you need to rewatch 3.
Yeah.
You need to rewatch it.
Sure.
It's great. And I'm very heavy loading the end because I'm sure the beginning's not as good.
Yeah, just like you're heavy loading. Oh, that Vader scene's really cool. Like, yes,
scene
it
is
was
great.
a sick scene.
Yeah, but I love the whole movie. It's well written. I love the storyline
I'll
of it.
I'll have to watch it again.
It's like, setting this up. I think the acting.
I'll watch it
very
again. I've
well
only seen
done.
it once, if not maybe twice.
You get to
but-
see Vader's like secret base. That's like cool. I like that part.
Yeah, so you get a little pun in there.
Little pun in there.
Everyone knows Darth Vader's pretty punny.
All right, there it is.
Let's run it down one more time.
Number 5 is episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Number 4 is episode 1, Phantom Menace. Number 3 is episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Number 2 is episode 4, A New Hope. And number 1, no one's surprised by this one, episode 5, Empire Strikes Back.
It's a good list.
There it is.
Star Wars is pretty.
We're getting
pretty cool.
roasted for number 4, but I'm willing to defend it if you are.
I feel like there are enough apologists out there for
Putting it
episode
above
1.
3, I don't think that's a popular opinion. But maybe I'm wrong.
I think it depends on the age group.
Yeah, you're probably right about that because all of my friends love 3.
Sure.
And I'm sure everyone in your old folks' home probably likes 1.
Yeah, because when we went to the theater and saw real lightsaber fights for the first time,
Yeah, right.
you don't get that first. Like nothing's better than that.
No.
Like, it's sick.
I totally understand where you're coming from. With that being said, that's it for us. We're going to go see James Bond, see if that holds up. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, remember again on Spotify, on the Spotify app, and on Twitter, Couch Code Games, you can vote on what we're going to do next. We'll put a couple options on there for top 5. I'm thinking we'll replace the Star Wars one with something else.
Yeah,
keep the other ones, right?
Sure.
Vote on that. What you guys want to hear next? We want some feedback here. That'd be awesome. Thanks for listening yet again. Visit us on couchcompany.games for everything. Keep up to date with what we're doing. Live streaming, going through Halo right now. Got our first clip up on YouTube as well, which is
fun stuff.
Pretty funny. I think it's pretty funny. I really do. So check us out on there. We really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for joining us on the couch. We will see you next week. Peace.